lick it like that. I'm the district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand.
Hey YouTube, what's up? So I'm back with another video, and as you can tell from the title of this video, this is gonna be a story time of my first kiss. Can y'all see your girl? I'm trying to figure out if I like the lighting like here. Can you, or is it better this way? I don't know. I'll just leave that open, I guess. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to do a story time and let you guys know about me and, you know, just get to know me a little bit better. Oh, as you can tell, I got a new look for the summer. I got me some blonde box braids, and honestly, at first, guys, when I was getting this, I was really scared. I'm like, you know what? It's not gonna look good on me. It's gonna look bad. But I actually really, really like them. Like, it's like super cute, and I'm beginning to style them and stuff. So let's get into the story. So my first kiss happened I believe my sophomore year of high school. And in high school I had two friends. It was like the three of us. We were the three amigos, and I was basically the last one to do everything in my group of friends. Like, I was the last one to have my first kiss. I was the last one to have a boyfriend. I was the last one to lose my V card. Like, I was last in everything. I was literally the virgin of the group. And to make matters worse, I was always the youngest. Everyone was always a year or two older than me, because I started school like kind of early, at a young age when I was younger. So yeah. So me getting my first kiss was kind of a big deal to my little friend group. And we're gonna use names for the story. So the two girls that were my best friends in high school, one's gonna be named Liddy, and the other one's gonna be named, let's name her Shoddy. Like Shorty or Shoddy. She's Shoddy. So it was like me and Liddy, we were BFFs. Like, we did everything together. Like, if you saw Liddy, you saw me. If you saw me, then Liddy wasn't far behind, you know? Like, we were like this. And, you know, Shoddy was, you know, she was down with us too all the time, but like me and Liddy just, you know, hung out more. I don't know why, it was just like that. So like, I remember we had a class together, and I guess Liddy was talking about some guy or whatever, and I asked her, like, what is it like? And she's like, what is what like? And I'm like, kissing a guy. And she's like, you never kissed a guy? Mind you, I think I'm 15 years old. Like I said, I did school like early, so I'm 15, like a sophomore, and like, yeah, I haven't had my first kiss yet. So I'm like, no. And she's just like, oh my gosh, what? Like, no way, da, 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 like saying X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, well, I don't know, it hasn't happened. Like, boys are like, it's not that I never was interested in boys at that time, but it was just more like, I don't know, every guy I met was like, it's just like a friend vibe, you know, like we just have a good time. I never like really, really caught feelings like that. But yeah, so she's just like, no, you have to be a guy, like you have to kiss someone, anyone, you just have to have your first kiss. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. So, you know, a couple weeks go by, whatever, we don't talk about it again. And I remember I'm going home with my homegirl. This is like another friend that you know, we were friends since like we were really little, and we didn't go to the same high school, but like we lived in the same town. So sometimes after school, like we'd meet up and just like hang out and go home together. I will call her Daisy. So I'm going home with Daisy or whatever, and like I'm walking, like we're walking towards my house, because the bus stop was literally a couple blocks away from my house, but we got off the bus and we're walking towards my house. And as I'm walking, there's this guy. Now let's name this guy Slim Jim, because, you know, he's pretty slim, like Wiz Khalifa slim. Anyways, so we're walking, right, and Slim Jim, you know, walks past me or whatever, does a double take. Mind you, Slim Jim's about to miss his bus, so he's just like, double takes, looks back at me and says, hey, yo, like mad loud, like, yo. And I just turn around like stupid me, just like who's he talking to? He's like, yeah, you. And I'm just like, yes. And he's just like, you're mad cute or whatever, like, can I have your number, blah blah blah. And I was just, I don't know. I feel like I think this is the first time I've ever given a guy my number. Like, that wasn't, like, someone I knew from, like, middle school. And I just, like, I don't know. I'm, like, super nice. So, like, I was like, okay. I mean, he was young. He looked like my age or whatever. So, you know, I was like, okay, like, whatever. Gave him my phone number. And then he got on his bus. And he's like, all right, word. And left. And I was just like, did that just happen? And Daisy's just like, mm-hmm. I'm just like, oh. So fast forward, I get home or whatever, doing homework or whatever, and Slim Jim texts me, and he's just like, hi, like, I'm sorry I came off, like, super forward like that earlier, like, you just look really cute, and I really wanted to, like, you know, get to know you or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it's cool, like, yeah, I get it, blah, 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 and then, like, he's, like, the same age as me, I think a year older or whatever, so we were both, like, sophomores at the time in high school, so I'm like, okay, cool, he just goes to a different school, and we were talking for a little bit, and then, like, he like asked me out, kind of. He was like, do you want to hang out like in downtown? Mind you, I live in Boston, so I'm like, okay, you know, opportunity is knocking. Like, okay, like I was putting two and two together. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down, let's do it. And he's like, okay, cool. So we scheduled to like go out Saturday in downtown. So I guess this was the Friday before Saturday, because I remember going to school and telling Liddy, like, oh my gosh, like, I have a date Saturday, I'm gonna hang out with X, Y, and Z, like, it's gonna be great. She's like, oh my god, finally, like, you're gonna, you know, and I'm just like, yeah. So Saturday happens, and, you know, we decide to meet in downtown. I think I get there first. I forget what time. I think it was, like, in the afternoon, 12. I get there, and you know, I'm waiting for Slim Jim. He shows up eventually, and it's like, okay, cool. And you know, we're walking or whatever, you know, talking, getting to know each other, like, where you go to school, what do you do, like, what your interests are, what are your short-term goals, what are your long-term goals, where do you see yourself in the no, JK. But no, we were just chilling and talking. I think we started talking about smoking pot, because yeah, I think Slim Jimmy was into that. But, you know, we walked around downtown, like, where the commons were, and it was, you know, cool. It was a nice day, whatever. It was kind of chilly, because I think this was, like, back in the fall. And we wound it up, like, at the Macy's. So there's a Macy's in downtown. We went there, and we walked around. We were still talking or whatever, and we went to the bedroom department of the Macy's. And we were, you know, sitting down, like, trying the beds out and chilling. You know, I was getting a little nervous or whatever, and just like, oh my god, I'm alone with a boy for the first time. So yeah. And as we're sitting on one of this, I think it was like a king size bed or whatever, he, you know, he had dreads, and, you know, I was like, I'm like, I'm not flirty on purpose, like, I don't plan to be, it just, I guess, happens. So I'm like playing with his dreads or whatever, and he's just like, he turns his head and looks at me. Mind you, Slim Jim is like really tall, like, he's super tall. So when we're sitting down, it's like we're kind of at eye level, but he's a little bit taller. And he looks at me and he's like, you know, there's a fee for touching my dreads, right? And I was like, oh shit, like, I'm sorry, what's the fee? And he's just like, a kiss. And I'm just like, bruh. Okay, this is it. So I'm like, okay, all right, okay. I was like, okay, then I'll pay the fee. You know, I'm trying to be slick and smooth and play it off or whatever, but I don't know if I told him that. Anyways, so yeah, he's like, okay, and then like he leans in. I lean in a little bit and stop and let him go in, and then like he comes in. It was so weird. Like, a first kiss is so weird. Like, it's my first time my lips touching lips with another individual. Like, his lips were like really soft. Like, you know, I thought it was gonna be like a quick, like, you know, like that. Nope. He literally invaded my whole mouth. Like, lips on me, tongue went all inside my mouth. Like, it was so sloppy and like wet, and just, it was so weird. It was so weird. Like, all I remember is, like, am I doing this right? Am I training my lips right? And, like, eventually we stopped, and I was just like, okay. And he was like, how was that? And I was just like, you know, it was nice or whatever. I didn't know. I had nothing else to compare it to, so I was just like, okay. So I was like, oh my god, I did it. I didn't, like, you know, feel the, you know, excitement or butterflies that people get, I guess. But it was like, okay, like, oh my god, I did it, my first kiss. Like, what? And then we ended up leaving that department, and we walked around some more, and then there's a statue of, like, a horse, I guess, and I wanted to sit on top of it, and I did, because, like, I'm mad little. And then, like, he helped me down because he's super tall. Then when he helped me down, he, like, pulled me in and kissed me again. And your homeboy, like, was, like, full body making out. Like, I never tongue kissed anyone before. So I, like, it was just so weird. Like, your tongue is in my mouth, and it was just so wet and, like, sloppy. But I just said whatever. I went with it, and I was like, okay. And then, like, we stopped, and then, you know, took the train home. We had 2 different stops. He wanted to come to my stop, but I told him, like, it's alright, like, I got this, like, it was getting late, you know, and he's like, okay, text me when you get home, and I'm like, I will. And then he kissed me a 3rd time that day on the train, like, in front of everyone, like, saying bye, like, grabbed me, kissed me again. This one wasn't as sloppy because he had to get off, but it was, like, still slipping his tongue in my mouth, like, ugh. So anyways, I remember getting home, I texted him, I'm like, I'm home. He's like, okay, good, or whatever. And the next day at school, actually not even the next day, that night, I texted Liddy and I said, oh my god, I did it. I got my first kiss. And I told her, like, all the details, and she was like, oh my god, yay, I'm so proud of you. And just like, yeah. And yeah, I mean, me and Slim Jim, obviously, like, we didn't really, like, work out. Like, he kind of caught feelings, but I didn't have the feelings there, so it was, we kind of talked on and off after that, but we're like on good terms now. But yeah, guys, that was a story time of my first kiss. I don't know, let me know in the comments, like, what you guys think, if I should do more story times. Like, what was y'all first kiss experience like? Like, were you tongue invaded like me? Like, did you feel, like, super high? Was it super good? Was it super bad? I wouldn't say it was, like, super bad. It was just really weird and awkward because I'd never done it before, and I wasn't expecting this dude's whole tongue to go in my mouth. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, and thank you for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye!